Hey, Patriots fans! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved New England Patriots. Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. This way, you'll stay updated and never miss any breaking news or exclusive content. All right, let's talk about what's going down in Foxborough right now, because things are heating up in a way that Patriots fans probably didn't expect this early in the season. KENDRICK BOURNE, one of the few consistent offensive bright spots for New England, just dropped a bombshell that's shaking the locker room and lighting up social media. The wide receiver, who's been quietly putting in solid performances despite the team's struggles, reportedly told a close source, "They don't value me here." Those words hit hard. They carry the tone of a man who's tired of being overlooked, tired of the constant rotation, and tired of carrying the weight for an offense that hasn't really found its identity since the post-Brady era began. You can feel the frustration behind that statement. It's not just about playing time or targets. It's about respect. It's about feeling like you belong in a system that's supposed to be built around teamwork and trust, yet somehow keeps leaving him out of the conversation. And if you know Bourne, you know he's not the type to stir up drama for no reason. When he speaks up, something's been boiling for a while. Inside sources say that Bourne's been growing increasingly distant from the coaching staff, especially after being left out of key drives where his energy and route running could have made a difference. Remember, this is the same guy who, not long ago, was praised for his work ethic and positive attitude even during tough stretches. But somewhere along the line, the communication broke down. It's not hard to see how that happens in New England. The Patriot way has always been about discipline and control, but when that approach meets frustration and inconsistency, cracks start to show. Bourne's been that player who wears his heart on his sleeve, celebrating every first down like it's a touchdown, bringing life to an offense that's otherwise been flat. Yet lately, that spark has been dimmed. Teammates reportedly noticed him keeping to himself more, speaking less in the huddle. And that's not the Bourne they know. When a locker room guy starts pulling away like that, it's a red flag that something behind the scenes isn't sitting right. The timing of this outburst couldn't be worse for New England. The team's offense is already under fire. The quarterback situation is unstable, and the fans are losing patience. A public sign of internal frustration adds more fuel to an already burning question. Has the Patriot way lost its magic? Bourne's words hit differently because they don't come from a star diva demanding attention. They come from a hard-working veteran who's done everything right but still feels unseen. In a culture that's supposed to reward effort and discipline, feeling undervalued cuts deep. Some insiders believe Bourne's outburst might even be a signal to other teams, a way of saying, "Hey, I'm ready for a change." If that's true, the Patriots could be looking at losing one of their emotional leaders just when they need him the most. Fans are split. Some blame the coaching staff. Others think Bourne's frustration should have stayed private. But one thing's for sure. The tension in Foxborough is no longer just on the field. You have to wonder what's happening behind those closed doors at Gillette Stadium. Is it a matter of coaching philosophy? Or is it something deeper? Like a team struggling to redefine its identity after 2 decades of dominance? Bourne's comments might just be the symptom of a larger problem. The Patriots used to be a place where players came to rebuild their careers, to find structure and success. But lately, that structure feels more like a cage for guys who crave creativity and confidence. Bourne's energy, his play style, that's what made him special. But if that energy isn't embraced, it turns into frustration. It's almost poetic in a painful way. A player known for his spark, now feeling like he's in the dark. Some around the league are already whispering that Bourne's situation could mirror what happened with other Patriots receivers who left and immediately thrived elsewhere. Maybe it's time to ask whether the system still works in today's NFL, or if players like Bourne are proof that something's broken. What's wild is that this isn't just about one player feeling slighted. It's about what that feeling represents in a team built on unity and accountability. When a veteran like Bourne speaks out, it echoes across the locker room. Younger players start questioning their own roles, veterans start wondering about their futures, and suddenly the whole vibe shifts. The Patriots have always prided themselves on silence, on keeping internal issues internal. But this leak changes the tone. Reporters are already circling, analysts are dissecting every quote, and the speculation machine is running at full speed. Bourne's not demanding a trade yet, but the phrase "they don't value me here" doesn't leave much room for reconciliation. It's the kind of statement that either sparks change or seals a goodbye. And honestly, right now, both outcomes seem equally possible. If the front office doesn't address this soon, what's a rumor today could be a full-blown fallout tomorrow. Still, there's a strange sense that Bourne's honesty might actually ignite something, not just for himself, but for the team. Sometimes it takes a voice like his to wake everyone up. The Patriots have been sleepwalking through mediocrity, and maybe this outburst is exactly what they need to look in the mirror. Bourne's not perfect, but his passion is undeniable. He wants to win, he wants to contribute, and most importantly, he wants to be seen as part of the solution, not a background piece. The coming days will be telling. Does Bill Belichick, or whoever's making the offensive calls now, step up and address it? Or do they let another talented receiver slip away, another casualty of the rigid system? Either way, the damage is done. The locker room has heard the message loud and clear, and the NFL world is listening. Something's changing in Foxborough, and KENDRICK might just be the one to spark the fire. What's happening now feels like déjà vu for Patriots fans. Another trusted player questioning the system. Another emotional fracture in a locker room that once prided itself on silence and focus. KENDRICK's statement isn't just frustration, it's revelation. When a guy like him says he's not valued, that speaks volumes about how disconnected things might have become between players and the coaching staff. Word around the league is that Bourne's camp isn't denying the quote. In fact, some insiders claim that the player's been quietly exploring his options even before the outburst. That's a clear sign that patience has run thin. The Patriots, meanwhile, are trying to play damage control, but this kind of thing doesn't just fade. The chemistry between quarterback and receiver depends on trust, and right now, it's hard to imagine Bourne giving his all for a system that doesn't give back. Fans can sense it too. There's an uneasy silence in New England, the kind that comes right before big changes. It's fascinating, really, how quickly a single quote can shift the narrative of an entire franchise. A week ago, people were talking about offensive struggles and coaching adjustments. Today, they're talking about morale, leadership, and identity. That's the impact of raw honesty in a league that often hides behind polished PR statements. Bourne didn't mince words, and that's what makes his message powerful. Some might call it unprofessional, but to others, it's refreshing. Finally, someone saying what many players might be thinking but won't say out loud. The Patriots locker room has always been about hierarchy and discipline, but those same principles can feel suffocating when the results aren't there. And lately, the results just haven't been there. The more you look at it, the clearer it becomes that Bourne's frustration is less about ego and more about purpose. He's not chasing attention. He's chasing fulfillment. And that's something even the strictest systems can't control forever. You can't ignore the emotional layer here either. Bourne's energy, his smile, his celebrations, they used to light up Foxborough. He was the guy hyping everyone up, keeping spirits high even when the scoreboard wasn't. Now, to hear that same guy say he feels unvalued hits hard. It tells you something's missing inside the building. Players feed off recognition. They need to feel their grind means something. When that disappears, even the most loyal veterans start to question their place. People forget that football isn't just about schemes and playbooks. It's about connection. When that connection breaks, the whole system suffers. Some analysts believe this could be the start of a bigger cultural shift, where the Patriot way finally faces the reality of the modern NFL. Players today want transparency, creativity, and appreciation, not just discipline and silence. And maybe Bourne, unintentionally or not, just became the voice of that shift. Meanwhile, the front office faces a crucial decision. Do they double down on the old system and risk losing yet another locker room leader? Or do they adapt and actually listen? The timing makes it even trickier. The trade deadline's approaching, and other teams are already watching closely. A receiver with Bourne's skill set and passion could easily find a new home where he's utilized and respected. If the Patriots let him walk, it'll say a lot about where their priorities lie: maintaining control or rebuilding trust. Fans are divided. Some still believe in the Patriot culture that brought them decades of dominance, but others are ready for evolution. Whatever happens next, it's clear the team can't ignore this anymore. Bourne's comments may have been emotional, but they opened a wound that's been festering for years. The Patriots have to choose: patch it up temporarily or finally fix what's really broken. It's ironic how the words "they don't value me here" can echo so loudly in a place once known for making every player feel like a piece of a greater machine. The same structure that made New England great is now what's making players feel trapped. The balance between discipline and appreciation has tilted too far toward control. Bourne's situation shines a light on that imbalance. His performances haven't dropped. In fact, he's one of the few consistent contributors. Yet consistency without recognition turns motivation into resentment. The Patriots' leadership might be realizing too late that in today's NFL, culture isn't just about rules, it's about relationships. Bourne's story could very well become the warning shot for a new generation of Patriots players who demand more than just a paycheck and playbook. They want a voice. They want respect. And now, thanks to one frustrated wideout, that demand is public. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. At the end of the day, whether Bourne stays or leaves, this moment will leave a mark. If he stays, it'll take genuine rebuilding. Not just words from the podium, but action, acknowledgement, and trust. If he leaves, his departure will symbolize the end of an era, the moment when the Patriot way finally met its breaking point. Either way, Bourne's truth has forced a conversation that's long overdue. Maybe it's uncomfortable, maybe it's messy, but it's real, and sometimes that's what change looks like. For now, Foxborough stands at a crossroads, torn between the pride of its past and the pressure of its present. And somewhere in that tension stands KENDRICK Bourne, frustrated, fearless, and, in his own way, free. What makes this whole situation even more compelling is how it exposes the emotional side of professional football, the part we don't always see behind the helmets and playbooks. KENDRICK Bourne's words aren't just a headline. They're a reflection of how even the toughest athletes crave acknowledgement. He's given his heart to this team, stayed loyal through system changes, losing seasons and roster shakeups, and now he's wondering if that loyalty was ever truly reciprocated. It's a story that resonates beyond the sport, the feeling of giving everything to a cause that doesn't seem to see you anymore. For Patriots fans, it's bittersweet. They know Bourne's energy, his fight, his authenticity. He's not a superstar demanding spotlight. He's a grinder demanding respect. And that's why so many are torn. They don't want to lose him, but they also can't blame him for finally speaking up. In a way, Bourne's voice has become the conscience of the team, forcing everyone, players, coaches, even fans, to confront the question: what does value really mean when the system that once defined greatness now feels like it's holding people back? Still, there's an undeniable tension between what was and what's coming. The Patriots dynasty era was built on silence, sacrifice, and results, but results by silence. And when they disappear, so does obedience. Bourne's outburst might be the spark that pushes the organization to evolve or crumble, depending on how they respond. Change in Foxborough has always been slow, almost resistant, but this time feels different. There's a human urgency in the air, a reminder that leadership isn't about control, it's about connection. Whether Bourne stays and becomes the bridge to a new culture or walks away as another casualty of an outdated philosophy, his impact is already felt. He's peeled back the curtain and shown that even in the NFL's most disciplined locker room, emotion still drives everything. The next chapter for both Bourne and the Patriots will define not just their season, but the soul of an entire era. And right now, Foxborough is holding its breath, waiting to see which side of history it'll stand on. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.